Welcome to Conversations Live, where we bring you the best in music, books, entertainment, and more. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. Now celebrating 16 years of broadcasting, here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
And welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. I'm excited to welcome Devazio Thurman to our program today. Devazio is one of those individuals who's been able to do some amazing work, not only for himself, but also in the lives of others as a performance coach and entrepreneur. We'll talk to him not only about the journey to where he is today, but also how our mutual friend, Evan Carmichael, has been able to help keep him inspired and motivated, and what he wants you guys to know about himself as he's moving into the new year. Devazio, hello to you, and welcome to the program, man.
Yes, sir. How you doing?
Hey, doing really good. Glad to have you on with us, man. And congratulations, man, on a great 2019. I been talking to our audience and our guests recently about the reflection of this year, man. I mean, I know you've been busy moving forward, but what has it been like for you to kind of reflect on the year that's been 2019 and all the great things that's come your way?
Oh, yes, sir. Most definitely. So for me, 2019 has been a life changer. I was currently a over-the-road truck driver, and during the time I was driving over the road, I used that time to listen to audio books, listen to podcasts, and just learn a lot of good content. And that led me to getting a life coach myself, and that my personal development just skyrocketed, man. It has just been beautiful. I've had a totally different perspective on life. In this past year, I've learned so much. Then I can honestly say I've learned so much in this past year than I have in my entire life.
Yeah. Well, it's been, you and I, met toward the tail end of this year. As I mentioned, you were part of the Thought Leadership Academy that Evan Carmichael had this year in Canada, and we'll get more into that. But I think what I've been able to notice, even while I've been following you, Devazio, is that, you definitely have the right attitude. So I want to ask you about that, because one of the things that you talk about is the importance of not waiting. I mean, what made you make the decision for yourself to get help? You mentioned, of course, getting your own coach. What led to that decision for you?
Most definitely. So I kind of noticed that, like, everyone who's great, like entertainers, athletes, singers, actors, they all have some type of coach. Even the people that's at the top level, you know what I'm saying? So I just, and again, I was listening to the content, listening to podcasts, and I actually heard, his name is Kevin of the Hyperconscious podcast, and he was just talking about a lot of stuff that resonated with me. I reached out to him, and we set it up. We had our first coaching call, and everything went great. So for me personally, I just wanted to be the best Devazio that I could be, and I didn't mind reaching out to someone else to help me get to that level.
Well, I think it has definitely paid off because, as I mentioned, you not only were able to do the work for you, but now, of course, you're able to help other people. How does that feel, Devazio? I mean, I mentioned to you, I saw one of the testimonials from someone that you work with. How does it feel for you to know that you've been able to help someone else to reach another level in their own lives?
Yes, sir. It's a great feeling, Cyrus, man, just because I know growing up for me, I've always been the helper. But then it seemed like when I needed someone in my corner, I didn't have them. So now that I'm in the position to where I can be of value to others and I can actually help someone else out, me being that person who is the person that needs, me being the person that someone needs to go to and they know they can count on, that's the best feeling ever, man. So like you said, when I posted that testimonial on my page, that was the best feeling in the world, man. The lady reached out to me from some content that I posted, and she just said how much it resonated with her. And for her to even take the initiative to reach out to me, that meant a lot, man, just to know I impacted her the way I did.
Well, I know other people feel the same way, Devazio. So I want to talk about, again, how you and I connected. Evan Carmichael has been an amazing force in the world, been able to benefit people a lot, mainly through his YouTube channel, but now we've gotten to be a part of other aspects of his life, especially as he's been traveling more now. I mean, how did you first find out about Evan?
Yes, sir, most definitely. So from my coach, it's so funny how networking works. So from my coach had an event in Florida where he spoke. It was called Your World Within Live with Eddie Pinero. And I went down there to see my coach. And then Evan was a speaker at the end. So I was able to, during like little breaks, I talked to Evan a little bit. and he got to know my story. And then that next day, he told me, he was like, Devazio, he asked me what I was trying to do, and then I told him, and he said, dude, just create an Instagram account and put your content out. So I was new to Instagram. I didn't have any social media. Evan convinced me to get Instagram. I got the Instagram account, and then the next day he DM'd me and he told me to come down. They were having a meetup in the lobby of the hotel. I went down, talked to him, and connected with him some more, and then that's when I found out about the workshop in Toronto. Once I found out, I couldn't pass up on the opportunity, so I went and took advantage of it.
Right. And now, of course, you've been able to not only have that amazing opportunity, but also to be with like-minded individuals. I had an opportunity, Devazio, to interview some of the other individuals that were a part of your group at the Academy. I mean, what has it been like for you to kind of be able to continue those friendships as you've kind of moved forward?
It's amazing, man. Just the whole experience itself was a very the environment was loving and caring, and it made me realize that often the media portrays a lot of negativity, and it makes it seem like there are bad people in the world. But that's not the case, because at Evan's event, everybody was so loving. Everybody came together. Everybody was from different walks of life, but we all came together, and we all had the same mindset of bettering ourselves. And it was the best feeling ever. And I know you interview Ray as well, and I talk to Ray via Instagram often. So, like you say, being able to keep those connections rolling is perfect, and I really benefit from it myself.
Right. You know, one of the things, and I want to actually read something that you posted, Devazio, because I think it's such a powerful thing. And again, if you guys are not following Devazio on Instagram, you guys can find him there at dtherm0024. And the post is one where it's a sign that says, "I can't do it," and the individual is cutting off the apostrophe T so that it reads, "I can do it." And this is what you wrote on the post, Devazio. "Cut the excuses. You keep telling yourself not today. Right now, I just don't have the time. I'll do it tomorrow. Stop it. Eventually, there won't be a tomorrow. You're coming up with a million reasons not to instead of reasons to get it done. Don't let your excuses stop you from living the life you deserve. Cut the excuses out and start doing." I want to talk about that because there are a lot of people, and I'm sure you meet these people. I know I meet them every day, Devazio, who say, "Oh, well, I can do this or I can do that," but they're not doing it, right? So I guess my question would be, what is it that's helped you to stop talking about things and actually going for it?
Yes, sir. And when you read it, Mr. Cyrus, you made it sound way better than what I put. But for me personally, it just sounds so much better coming from you. But so for me personally, it's just a few different things. For me, I have a family. I have a son and a daughter and a niece and a nephew. That's one part. But another part is just I want to be the best Devazio, and I want to succeed for myself. And then I know if I succeed, a byproduct of that will be my family, my children, my niece and nephews, and me being able to help others like I'm doing on Instagram now. So
right.
With that being said, I can't have excuses. I have to go. I have to make it happen. One thing that Evan talks about is the 595 rule, which is I lost it. But the 595 rule, where he basically saying people spend too much time thinking and not doing.
Right.
And that's what that really stood out to me. So I just have to start doing. And as you start doing and growing, you'll pick up that momentum. But the more time you spend on thinking or coming up with the excuses, then you're not going to get anything done. So for me, I know I have to get things done no matter what. And if I fail, then I'm going to kick myself forward and not kick myself down.
I'm glad you mentioned family, Devazio, because, as I said, I've been following your content, and I'm one of those people, I actually tell people, if I actually like your post, that means I've actually read it or actually viewed what you said. You did a great post about gratitude, and you mentioned your son in that post. And I can't remember what day it was, but the thing that struck me about watching that video, I'm not a father myself, but when I was watching that video, and I'm sure you remember this because your son wanted a toy, and you basically said to him, you have toys. He said, "Well, I don't have that toy." And your whole point was to be grateful for what you have. Do you think, being in the position that you are, that is one one of the things that you not only work toward, and that is being grateful and showing gratitude for what you have, but also realizing the importance of what you already have.
Oh, yeah, most definitely, because I figured out, as I've been personally developing, it's all internal. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people tend to focus on the external, and when that happens, you just keep reaching and keep reaching and keep reaching, and you never get true fulfillment because you're not happy on the inside. So we have to be grateful for what we currently have and what we have on the inside, which will be a byproduct of a true happy life. And so I have to take gratitude every day for everything I have, whether it be just on all aspects of life. I'm grateful for everything. You know what I'm saying? Because it's very important. And I feel like a lot of people aren't grateful for the situation that they're currently in, because your situation could be a lot worse than what it is, but you still have to be grateful for what you have, because once you get something better, will you ultimately appreciate it? You know what I'm saying? So that's my take on that.
It's such a good point. For those who are just tuning in, you're listening to Conversations Live. We're excited to welcome Devazio Thurman to our program today. We're talking to Devazio not only about the journey he's been on this year, but also what it's been like for him to grow personally, to be able to help other people to grow, and then, of course, to be able to set an example for all of us. We're about to let you guys know again how you can stay connected with Devazio. So, since you've had such a great 2019, what are you looking forward to moving forward? What are some of the things we should be on the lookout for, Devazio?
Yes, sir. So I'm glad you asked me that, because one thing I want to work on is getting out my comfort zone, and I want to actually do a speech. So I'm going to try to, just keep putting my content out there, get notarized, and I want to get in front of some people and talk. I know that's been I'm a shy guy, believe it or not. So I want to be able to do a speech. So that's something I'm gonna shoot for during 2020. And just keep growing my content and keep trying to impact the lives of others.
Well, I know if you keep the company that you have right now, Devazio, and keep building on that, I know that will definitely happen. And I also know that you'll continue to have the support that you are garnering, not only online but also offline as well. How can our audience stay connected with you, man?
Oh, yeah, so most definitely you can follow me on Instagram, DTHURM0024. And I have a Facebook page. I'm getting it up and running, Mr. Cyrus. So once I get it up and running, that'll be the same. It'll just be my name, Devazio Thurman, on Facebook as well. So those two platforms.
All right. So make sure you guys are definitely staying connected with him. Devazio, I want to ask you this question. I mean, what would you say to our audience? I know I read that post earlier about stopping, the reasons why you're not doing. What would you say to them about the importance of starting today?
The importance of starting today is basically we can't keep putting things off. The further you keep putting it off, the further behind you're going to be. So why not start today? Start today, get the momentum going, and you'll feel much better. That's is very important.
Here we go. And you're hearing it from someone who definitely knows firsthand. Devazio, a great conversation with you, man. Glad you could stop by the program, and looking forward to having you back on again, man.
Oh, and most definitely, Mr. Cyrus, thank you for even having me. It's been, and again, they go that word grateful. I'm grateful for you having me on. So, yes, sir.
Well, look, man, grateful for the conversation as well, and we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying, as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Make sure you take out time to enjoy some good music as well as a great book. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live. Let's make it a great one.